Hello everyone. So the word for today is blithe. Blithe right here means without thought or regard. You can say it's synonymous to being careless or indifference. She shows a blithe disregard for danger. That means she's careless about danger. She does not regard dangerous situations. She's least bothered about them. I'm upset by the author's blithe indifference towards facts. That means there is an author for a book, perhaps, some book out there, and they are careless about facts. They are not worried about what it says according to some fact, right? They're just putting things out there without worrying about the facts. He drove with blithe disregard for the rules of the road. Blithe disregard, extreme carelessness towards the rules of the road. So blithe means without regard, without being careful about something. Careless or disregarding about something or being careless about something is blithe. All right. As you can see this person right here, they have a blithe disregard for their health, right? Because they're smoking, and smoking is just a disregard to your health. So a blithe disregard, right? Extreme carelessness. All right, let's see our next word. Blunt. Must have heard of this, blunt, right? When your sharpened pencils are used a lot, they start becoming blunt, right? So blunt, something that is not having a sharp edge or point, such as your pencils, maybe a knife, a blunt knife, a knife that does not have a sharp edge, right? Or saying without trying to be polite. There are certain people in life, you'll meet them, and these people speak things without being polite. They don't even try to be polite, they're straightforward. They throw things at your faces, right? So such people are called as blunt. I'll be blunt. That last piece of work you did was terrible. I'll be blunt means I'll be straightforward. I'm not going to sugarcoat it or be polite with you. I'm just going to say that the last piece of work you did, it was terrible. Like it was really bad. He was blunt about needing more privacy. That means this person, he did not sugarcoat it or he did not try to be polite when he wanted to convey that he needs more privacy. So he was blunt about needing more privacy. The victim suffered a blow to the head from a blunt instrument. So there was a person who was hit with a blunt instrument on the head, right? So blunt instrument, an instrument that is not having a sharp edge, right? Blunt instrument. So blunt, not having a sharp edge, or being straightforward, not trying to be polite to convey your message, right? That is blunt. Let's look at our next word, bolster. Bolster here means to support or improve something or make it stronger. If you are supporting something, you are improving it in order to strengthen it. You are bolstering it. She came with me to bolster my confidence. That means your friend or anyone, maybe your relative, they came with you to support you, to improve your confidence or to strengthen your confidence. That is bolster. More money is needed to bolster the industry. That means to improve or strengthen this industry or any industry. We need more money. So bolster here means to make the industry stronger, to improve it, right? The doctor recommended I use a knee bolster pillow while sleeping. Knee bolster pillow, a pillow that is going to support the knees. Can you see? This girl is sleeping on a knee bolster pillow, a pillow that is supporting her knees, right? So knee bolster, a pillow supportive for the knee, right? Knee bolster pillow. So bolster, You can remember it like this. Someone who is bold always supports the other person, right? So yeah, bold, bolster. Being bold means being supportive, being strong enough to support something and make it stronger. So bolster means making something stronger or supporting something. Okay. All right. Let's see our next word. Boon. Something that is very helpful and improves the quality of life. Boon is, let's say, anything that is sort of a, heaven sent gift for you, or anything that is improving your life's quality or is proving to be extremely helpful. Guide dogs are a great boon to the partially sighted. Partially sighted, people who can't look properly, who can't see properly, right? Such people are called as partially sighted. And guide dogs. Guide dogs, like one right here, this cutie is a guide dog and is a great boon, is a blessing to the partially sighted. So we can say boon is synonymous to a blessing, right? Parks are a great boon to people in big cities. In big cities, where would people go for, getting fresh air or sitting under trees? Because there aren't many trees you'll find on roads, right? So parks are a great boon or a great blessing for people in the cities. The bus service is a real boon to people in the village. Now, people living in the village, it's very hard for them to travel, right? So the bus services are a real boon to these people, real blessing to these people who are living in the villages, right? So bus service is a real boon to people in the village, right? Okay, let's go to our next word. All right. Brandish. What does brandish mean? To wave something in the air in a threatening or excited way, right? That is brandish, right? Can you see Wonder Woman right here, right? What is she doing? She is going to brandish her sword. That means she'll move her sword or wave her sword in the air in a threatening manner when she has to face the villain, the evil, right? So brandishing their swords, they rode into battle. You must have seen those people riding on horses, having their swords drawn in the air, right? They're waving it threateningly or excitedly. That is called brandishing, right? So brandish, just like brands, brands wave their products in air. They promote their products a lot. So brandish means to wave something in the air, right? In a threatening or excited way. He looked silly brandishing one of those Star Wars lightsabers. Must have seen those Star Wars colored lightsabers. People fight with them. They are sold at toy stores. So there was some guy and he looked silly brandishing one of those Star Wars lightsabers, right? Brandishing means lifting it in the air and waving it in a threatening manner, or maybe he was just excited to use it. She brandished a saucepan at me, so I ran out of the kitchen. So moms do that a lot. They brandish saucepans at you, right? They show you a saucepan, lift the saucepan, wave it in the air, and show you in a threatening manner, I'm gonna hit you with this, right? And then we run outside. So that is called brandishing, right? Your moms brandish saucepans. Army people, they maybe in a group of people who are going for a fight on their horses, they brandish their swords. Superheroes can brandish their own weapons, right? So brandish. All right, let's look at our next word. Brazen. Brazen means something that is done without shame or without any attempt to be hidden. Any activity which you are doing without really being shameful about it or without making an attempt to hide that activity. You say that you're brazen. There were instances of brazen cheating in the exams. See this person? So brazenly writing everything on his hand and cheating from it. This is called something which is brazen. Brazen cheating. Cheating that is done without shame. This person is not scared at all, not being shameful about what he's doing. He's just brazenly cheating, right? His wife could no longer tolerate his brazen love affairs. Brazen love affairs that the person was not really hiding. He was not even making an attempt to hide those love affairs. So his wife could no longer tolerate his brazen love affairs, right? Love affairs that he was not trying to hide. The brazen woman laughed loudly at the judge who sentenced her. Now imagine, you're in the court. The judge just punished you for something. They gave you a sentence. They gave you an order, perhaps to stay in jail or to give a fine, and you start laughing at them. How shameless, right? So if you are being shameless like that, you'll be called as a brazen person. Okay? Brazen, done without shame. All right? Okay. So next word is brevity. Using only a few words or lasting for a short time. If you're using few words or something which is lasting for a short time, you say brevity. His essays are models of clarity and brevity. Writing an essay perhaps, and your essay is clear, to the point, and is using less words. Only a few words are used to convey your meaning, your message. So your essay is an example of brevity. The brevity of the concert disappointed the audience. That means the concert lasted for such a short time that it was disappointing for the audience. So anything that is lasting for a short time in duration, that thing is called as being brevity. All right, it's that duration. If it's short, then brevity of the concert or brevity of the class, brevity of the session, right? For the sake of brevity, I'd like to make just 2 points. That means for the sake of keeping my speech short, or maybe for the sake of only speaking few words, I'll just put forth 2 points. So brevity means keeping something short, may it be in duration, may it be in words, right? And as we say, less is more. So brevity is what conveys less is more. You're using less words. That means you are using brevity to convey something. All right. So brevity means you're being so brave that you're now going to use few words to express the complete meaning of your speech. So brevity, using few words, right? Okay. Next is bridle, right? Bring under control, or a headgear to control a horse, or it word shows one's anger. A boisterous horse must have a rough bridle, right? Bridle, that means a headgear. Can you see this? This headgear. This is a bridle, right? So if a horse is having a rough bridle, that means their headgear is rough. Mr. Matt has learned to bridle his temper. That means to control his temper, to bring his temper under control is bridle. Homeowners bridled at the new regulations. That means they showed anger at the new regulations. So there are 3 meanings. First, to bring something under control, right? To bring your anger under control, to bring expenses under control, right? You can say bridle your anger, your expenditures, right? Second, it's a headgear to control a horse. And third, showing your anger is also bridle, right? Okay. So you can remember it like this. A bride needs to keep her nervousness under control, right? Bride needs to keep her nervousness under control. So brittle means to bring something under control, right? Okay. Bucolic. Bucolic means relating to the pleasant aspects of the countryside and country life. Can you see this pretty pleasant place, the countryside? So anything that is relating to the pleasant aspects of countryside and the country life, it's called as bucolic. The painting shows a typically bucolic scene with peasants. There's a painting, let's say this painting. It shows a scene which is related to the countryside and country life. So this painting shows a bucolic scene with peasants, farmers, right? People who are working in fields. A bevy of stars turn up for Bucolic Garden fashion show in Paris. A bevy of stars. Bevy is a collective noun you can use for a group of beautiful ladies, right? So right now we're using them for stars who are turning up for a Bucolic Garden fashion show. Bucolic, a countryside themed garden fashion show in Paris, right? So bevy of stars turn up for Bucolic Garden fashion show in Paris. The Valley Hotel offers a bucolic boutique-like experience. There's some hotel, the Valley Hotel, and it is offering a bucolic boutique-like experience. That means it is offering a countryside-like experience, right? So Valley Hotel offers a bucolic boutique-like experience. Bucolic, something that is related to the countryside or country life, right? It could mean that, I want to experience a bucolic day. That means I want to experience a day where I'm visiting the countryside and living the country life. Right? All right, buoyancy. Buoyancy means a cheerful and optimistic attitude. If you're one of those people who are really cheerful all the time, they're optimistic about everything, then you have a buoyancy, right? Or it also means to rise when submerged in a fluid. Can you see this rubber ducky here? Submerged in the fluid, right? So they are submerged, but the fluid, the water, is making sure that this duck stays afloat, right? Can you see? The duck is not drowning, right? The duck is afloat. So this duck, which is staying up in the water and not drowning, is because of the water's buoyancy, right? It can also mean a cheerful and optimistic attitude. Someone who is, always feeling uppity up and feeling like really positive. So such people are called as buoyant people, right? He was a man of remarkable buoyancy. That means this person, he was having a nature, his attitude was optimistic, cheerful, right? He was remarkably happy all the time. This person would just not, stop feeling uppity up about things. He'll always be cheerful, treating people with a big smile, doing things with enthusiasm, right? And never feeling negative about anything. We hope that the economy will maintain its buoyancy. That means the economy will maintain the rise. It will not fall. So that is buoyancy. The swimmer is supported by the water's buoyancy. That means there is a swimmer going in the water and they are not drowning, they stay afloat. Why? That is because of water's buoyancy, right? You must have read in science as well, right? Buoyant force, it's a force that your liquid is applying to make sure that you stay afloat, right? So yes, buoyancy. All right then, let's revise. Buoyancy, a cheerful and optimistic attitude, or to rise when submerged in a fluid. He was a man of remarkable buoyancy. That means he was a man with a cheerful and optimistic attitude, right? We hope that the economy will maintain its buoyancy. Example for the meaning of buoyancy saying maintaining the rise. If the economy has touched a certain point, we don't want it to fall further down, right? We want it to maintain the rise. So that would be maintain the buoyancy. Bucolic. Bucolic means relating to the pleasant aspects of countryside and country life. If someone is in the habit of enjoying countryside, then they want to enjoy the bucolic days or a bucolic scene, right? The painting shows a typically bucolic scene. That means a scene that is related to the countryside, right? Countryside as in you're living inside the country, right? And people living on the borders of the country. People who are not living in these metropolitan cities, a rush of cars. There are these tall skyscrapers, offices, glass buildings. All these are things belonging to cities, right? But bucolic means belonging to the countryside, far away from all this rush, the cars, the pollution. You know, staying in a farm or staying in the countryside is like staying with trees, right? Staying in the nature. All right. Bridle. Bridle, to bring something under control. It is also a headgear to control the horse and to show one's anger. So it could mean three things. A boisterous horse must have a rough bridle. So that is the headgear that the horse is using. If you are to remember this, you can remember it like this. Bridle, bride, right? A bride needs to keep her emotions in control, right? So bridle, to bring under control. Now you could bring your expenses under control. You could bring your emotions under control, like your temper, your happiness, anything. Okay. All right. So yes, bridle. Brevity, using only a few words or lasting only for a short time. Two meanings. First, the one that conveys that you're using few words to convey your meaning, to convey your speech, to convey your conversations, right? And second, something which is lasting for a short time, for a short duration, right? For example, the brevity of the class disappointed the students. That means the students wanted the class to go on for long, but the class was so short that they all were disappointed, right? So brevity of the class, the short time, short duration of the class. Or the essays were a model of brevity. That means all the essays that were written, they were written in few words, okay? So this is like a positive way of saying few words. It's not like the person wrote few words and they were not enough. Brevity means you used few words, but they positively conveyed your meaning. They effectively conveyed what you wanted to say. Brazen. Brazen, you can remember anything that is done without shame. For example, this person right here, see how brazen, how brazen. Brazen means you're doing something without shame. You are not feeling shameful about it. First. Second, you are doing something and not even trying to hide it. Doing something without an attempt to hide the activity. For example, cheating. If you're cheating and the whole class is watching you do it, that means it's an incident of brazen cheating. You are absolutely shameless. You are not worried about hiding it. You're just doing it, right? So yeah, brazen cheating in exams. Or if you are not trying to hide a thing which is supposed to be hidden, then again, you are a brazen person. For example, he's so brazen. He's having love affairs and not even hiding from his wife, right? That means he's not even making an attempt to hide it. Those are his brazen love affairs, the ones that he is not attempting to hide, right? So brazen. You can remember it like this: raisin, something that has been raised, right? Something that has been raised enough to not hide it. So raisin things, things that are not hidden anymore, brazen, right? Things that you're not hiding anymore, brazen. All right. Brandish. Wonder Woman again, her sword in the hand and waving it in the air. Now, it could be waved in a threatening manner. It could also be waved in an excited manner. If waved in a threatening manner, you could say warriors using their swords to fight with their enemies, right? So brandishing their swords. Brandishing means, let's say the sword belongs to some high quality brand, right? And they're brandishing it. They're showing their sword. See my sword, it's so great, right? So brandishing your sword means to wave it in the air, either in a threatening manner or excited way. So brandishing their swords, they rode into battle. Or someone just brandishing their lightsaber in the air for fun, right? You can also remember it like this: your mom brandishing maybe a ladle or a saucepan at you, that she's going to hit you with it. She's brandishing it in the air. Run, or I'm going to hit you, right? So that is brandish, right? Boon sounds like boom, right? So yes, you can say like this: boom, I got a blessing from the heaven, right? So boon, you can remember it like this: boom, I got a blessing from the heaven, right? So boon is something that is very helpful and improves the quality of your life. It's sort of a blessing in disguise, right? So that is boon. For example, guide dogs or dogs in general. I would not even say guide dogs. I would say dogs in general are a blessing to us, right? They are a blessing from heaven. So dogs are a great boon. And guide dogs, they are a great boon to partially sighted people. People who are not able to see properly, guide dogs help them move from place to place, right? So they are a boon for them. Parks are a boon for people living in cities, right? And bus services, they are a boon for people in villages, right? So boon, you can remember it like this: boom, I got a blessing in disguise. I got a blessing from heaven, right? Blessing, something that is super helpful and improves the quality of your life. Boon. Bolster. Now you can see this pillow right here, how it is supporting her knees. So bolster, you can remember like this, is anything that supports or improves something to make it stronger. Or, if you are supporting your friends or you're supporting a business to make it stronger, you're bolstering it. All right. Now this pillow is supporting the girl's knees. So the pillow is a bolster pillow, a knee supportive pillow, right? A knee bolster pillow. More money is needed to bolster the industry. That means we require more money to support the industry to make it stronger. Or you need to bolster your friend so that she can take part in the competition. That means you need to boost her confidence. You need to support her so that she goes for the competition without fear, right? Support someone, bolster. You can remember it like this: bold people always support others, right? So bolster, bold, supporting others to make them stronger. Blunt. Blunt means first saying without trying to be polite. You are saying something straightforward, no sugarcoats, not trying to be polite. Second, blunt could be any object which is not having a sharp edge or is not pointed, right? Blunt knife, blunt scissors, or blunt objects, right? Or it could be used in a second way. People who speak things straightforward are blunt. For example, being blunt about what you want is not a bad thing. You don't have to sugarcoat it. Just tell straightforward what you want. You don't have to be polite for it, right? Okay. Blithe. Blithe means without thought or regard, being careless or indifferent. Showing blithe disregard means showing extreme carelessness, extreme ignorance towards something. For example, this person right here, smoking a cigarette, or let's say about to smoke a cigarette, is showing blithe disregard for their health, right? So yeah, thank you.